Welcome to Solomon's Porch. This is where we gather to share thoughtful discussion, respectful debate, and biblical conviction. I want to talk to you today about Joseph McCarthy. He was a senator from the state of Wisconsin in the 1940s and 50s, and he boldly and brashly declared that communists had infiltrated the U.S. government at the highest levels. He was ignored, he was mocked, he was blacklisted by the U.S. media and the fellow government officials. In 1995, the Venona Papers were declassified. And this was the papers that were gathered in a counterintelligence operation called the Venona Project during the Cold War. With confirmation, these papers confirmed that Senator Joseph McCarthy was right about Soviet infiltration. It was called the Red Scare, and some real culprits were discovered, including Alger Hiss and Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. Many believe that even J. Robert Oppenheimer had his security clearance revoked, in part at least due to his close ties with communists. Listen to Joseph McCarthy in a highly contentious Senate hearing.
There is that small, closely knit group of administration Democrats who are now the complete prisoners and under the complete domination of the bureaucratic, communistic Frankenstein which they themselves have created.
McCarthy's general claims about communist infiltration were right, absolutely right. However, his specific claims caused great harm to many individual innocent people. His brash accusations that were really unfounded. He was finally censured in Congress in 1954. A censure is Congress's very strong disapproval of a member's conduct. And so McCarthy's premise was absolutely correct. Communists had infiltrated the highest levels of our government, our agencies, our institutions. However, his method was extreme. The Red Scare reached out not just to the perpetrators, but to anyone associated with them. Neighbors, co-workers, relatives were dragged in to answer accusations that were sometimes baseless, simply because they had contact with someone who was a communist. McCarthy was ahead of his time. Is communist infiltration a problem today? Absolutely. They have changed the titles attached to the ideology. There's a common Marxist anti-God philosophy in the BLM movement and the defund the police movement. Who are the Democratic Socialists in Congress? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from New York, Rashida Tlaib from Michigan, Jamal Bowman from New York, and Cori Bush from Missouri. These are socialists serving within our government. It should be noted that the 2026 primaries produced Democratic Socialist Party wins in Colorado, Malat Quiros, and in New York, Avila Xavier. There could be 6 Democratic Socialists in the 120th Congress after the midterm elections. Not all Democrats are socialists, but all socialists are Democrats. The ideological landscape in America is changing, and recent polling shows that socialism is viewed favorably by 2/3 of Democrats, but just 14% of Republicans. Approximately 40% of Americans overall, and nearly 62% of adults under age 30. American politics is being infiltrated by groups that share common ideas. Zohran Mamdani, the Muslim mayor of New York City and also a Democratic Socialist, comes to mind. Socialist, Islamist, the LGBTQ movement, and the global warming crowd, along with others, are all anchored in the Democratic Party, and they all advocate for policies like wealth redistribution, increased government programs, government-run health care, canceling student debt, placing limits on wealth accumulation. They hate Elon Musk. Open borders and restructuring the economic system shared by most Western civilized countries. These are not patriotic, we love America or America First movements. Their mission is to change America. In the words of Barack Obama,
we are 5 days away him from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
Just before he was elected president in 2008, we are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. And boy, did he. Joseph McCarthy wasn't wrong, but threats to national security should be confronted with careful investigation, credible evidence, and due process rather than guilt by association. Thank you for joining us at Solomon's Porch for thoughtful discussion, respectful debate, and biblical conviction. Please like, share, and subscribe for more content just like this.